Hi, I'm Emma. I'm a PhD candidate at the Institute for Social Science Research, and this is my supervisor, Sally, and we are here to answer your questions.
Oh, it looks like I've got the first question, Emma. Why did you choose to do a PhD?
Because I enjoyed my honours year, but the thing about an honours year is it's quite rushed, so you only really have about 9 months to create your project and then to write up your thesis. So I had a few things that I wanted to explore in more depth, and the PhD is useful because you have that time to really explore your topic, which I enjoyed. Sally, what's your favourite thing about being a PhD supervisor?
Do you know, I think it's learning about the students and their personalities. Every student comes in with a really different set of skills and life experiences. They don't all come in the same way, and they have different ways that they look at the world. And so it's really nice to learn with them and go through that journey of understanding what they bring and then what I can help bring out. So, I have students who think really big, and they have big ideas, and then you've kind of got to bring them down to thinking about all the detail in between. And then other students who are so detailed orientated, and you just have to encourage them to think big and own big ideas and be okay with that. So I kind of love that process. How is your PhD different to your undergraduate studies?
For the PhD, it's a lot more independent, and you get to have a lot of control over what you want to explore. And something else that's nice is you get to have that relationship with your supervisory team, and yeah, it's nice because you have the support around you to explore what you're really interested in. So that's a great thing about the PhD. And also, with the support of a scholarship as well, you can kind of treat it like a job. So the 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. So that's really great as well. You can really just focus on the topic that you love. Sally, how did you make the progression from a Bachelor of Creative Industries in dance to a Doctor of Philosophy? What sparked a passion for research?
Wow, okay, I have absolutely no idea how I got here. If you had asked me at the beginning of my university studies, when I was studying a degree in dance, I would not have thought I would end up doing a PhD and then becoming a researcher in developmental psychology. That was not the plan. But I guess as part of my studies, I got really interested initially in psychology. So I went from dance to psychology first. I have a degree in psychology also. And then through that, just really interested in research and how research can inform the world around us and the decisions we make, and particularly around small children and doing research in that space.
Do you ever think that you draw upon some of the skills from your dancing degree in the PhD?
Do you know, I actually think I do. It's very odd. Possibly not my dance skills. I don't generally dance.
I don't see you dance as much. I'm a bit disappointed.
But certainly the creativity part of it, I do actually think is part of research. I think we often think of research as something we do just in a lab, and it's very sort of sterile and rigorous. And whilst there is an element of that, actually a big part of research is that creative spark of asking unique questions and coming up with new ideas, and there's a certain creativity required for that. So I don't think it's irrelevant. So what scholarship have you been awarded, and how did you find out about it?
So I'm on the Research Training Program Scholarship, the RTP, and I found out about it when I'm enrolled or applied for the PhD. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward, but it's very helpful to have that support, because that's really what helps you to just focus on your PhD. Even though I do a bit of research assistant work, and that's fun, you have to keep that to a minimum because there's always a million shiny distractions. But yeah, you're there to do your PhD, and that scholarship allows you to really focus on it. Who do you think should do a PhD?
I think anyone who is really interested in a topic area or has a burning question that they want to answer or contribute to our understanding of. Really, that's what it comes down to. It's a big commitment. You commit for 3 years or longer to do a PhD. And so really what you need to bring with it is a genuine interest in what you're doing. And then beyond that, your supervisors really step in and can help you with all the other skills you need to make that work. How did you come up with your PhD topic?
So it was really just by chance when I started my honours. My honours supervisor at the time told me that she had a project coming up about childcare flexibility, if I'd be interested, and I was reading about childcare flexibility and I could see it was really important, but the policy analysis wasn't really my passion. But then I saw one of the project aims was to understand children's perspectives, and that really fascinated me because in my undergraduate degree in sociology we don't focus on children's perspectives. So that was really exciting for me because I had this whole new literature I was really interested in exploring. So honours was like my taste of that body of research, and then I got to really explore that more in my PhD. What made you decide to be my supervisor?
Oh, goodness.
I'm questioning your life decisions now.
Wow. You came to me actually. I'm not sure I chose you. You chose me, I think. Yes, you approached me. But what resonated, I guess, for me is that you came in, you were deeply interested, you had this idea of what you wanted to do, and I think when people have that passion for something, you can tell straight away because the way they talk about it is really is animated, I guess. And so I guess that was a very easy decision from my perspective. To have someone come to you and be able to articulate what they're interested in, and in a way that shows that they're really dedicated and committed to that. Made it very easy to say, yes, Emma, I will take you on.
Oh, thanks, Sally. And I was working as a research assistant for you before you became my PhD supervisor. So
yes, I had a little insider knowledge about your skills as well, which is always helpful.
Yes, that's probably good advice for PhD students, is if you've finished your honours year and you just want to explore a bit your research topic, or suss out who could be a good supervisor. Sometimes doing some research assistant work in areas that you're interested in can be a great way to get that foot in the door and take it from there.
Yeah, and it certainly helps from our end because then we get to know you and we know what your skills are and where we can help you. So that's quite nice. All right, your research interests include child wellbeing and sociology of children. How did you find a supervisor with aligned interests?
I found Karen through the Institute for Social Science Research's newsletter that announced that Professor Karen Thorpe and her team, including Dr. Sally Staton, were moving across to UQ. So I think, it's important to read those newsletters. And also I got the newsletter because I had connections with a friend from honours who forwarded it to me. So I think that's another example of maintaining those connections, and are really helpful because people will share resources for you. And that was a link to early childhood research. And to complement the team, we also have a sociologist on the team to bring in that sociological perspective.
And challenge our thinking, because we don't always understand sociology very well, but we're learning a lot.
I think it's good for me though, because I'm always thinking about how to explain where I'm coming from. So I think that's kind of nice also if your supervisor might have a slightly different discipline of expertise, then that's actually good because it always keeps you on your toes, and you always have to be thinking about how do I explain what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and we're not just accepting that, we're just going to do research in this particular way because that's how it's always been done. We're always critically evaluating it, and I think that's when the really exciting research ideas come to fruition.
It's nice for us too because we get opportunities to learn new things that we're not usually exposed to, which is good. Oh, looks like I've got the last question, Emma. Was your undergraduate degree in social science, or did your passion for your topic come from somewhere else?
My undergraduate degree was in sociology, but that was through a Bachelor of Arts, and the way the Bachelor of Arts is designed is that it's quite broad, so I got to try a whole bunch of different subjects my first year, and I only discovered sociology in my second semester, and I was really interested in sociology. Of course, now my PhD is in the sociology of early childhood, and that interest in early childhood all came not from my studies, but I did a lot of volunteering with children throughout my undergraduate degree. The PhD has been useful because I've been able to bring those two interests of early childhood and sociology together.